Joined by UMass Boston women's volleyball head coach Michael Houlihan after the Beacon's LEC title victory on Saturday. Coach, after you've had some time to kind of digest the match, how proud are you of your group in a match that very easily could have gone the other way before your team pulled off a big comeback in the fourth set and then a really strong result in the fifth?
I'm really proud of them. I mean, from the start of this year to now, we play a completely different game than we really kind of started off thinking we were going to play this year. And the scrappiness that we have built over the last 6 to 8 weeks has been incredible, and it's shown. And that type of resilience that we show is something that we've built throughout the year, and that's why we schedule the way we do in some difficult scenarios, so that way we could be ready for these type of moments and understand that every point matters regardless of how you obtain it, and that's big for us. We want to make sure that we have that mentality going into this upcoming weekend, just like we had this past weekend.
When you talk about mental toughness and resilience, I'd like to point out two players who maybe get a little bit lost in the fray, but Alex Kiosa certainly didn't have her best start to the match, and also Michaela Garrity hasn't had the season she had as a freshman because of some injuries, but how important were their contributions on Saturday to keeping you in that match and eventually winning it?
Yeah, I mean, starting with Q did a tremendous job recovering. She did have a rough start, but midway through the fourth, I asked the entire team who wants this ball, and she was the first one to pop her hand up, her and Taryn, and it was incredible. I mean, and she really did want that ball, and those type of things make a huge difference, right? And for her to have that kind of mental fortitude to recover from a poor game and end the match the way she did was incredible. Mick's another one. I mean, Mick had a really rough start because of her back and her injury, and her really kind of pushing through this recovery period. She knew coming back that she would have almost a little bit lesser of a role than she did in previous years, but she's really taken advantage of owning her role and coming in and making a huge impact. And for that, she didn't have a terrific game versus Keene, and for her to come in and have 5 aces and only 1 error, and the digs that she did in the moments that she did, it was really kind of unbelievable, and it was really a comeback story for her.
Going back to the resilience, how does the team's play and the team's ability to recognize that it doesn't matter what the score is, they have the ability to get back into a match, help you going into the NCAA tournament where you're going to be playing some really good competition? You might find yourself in some holes, but there's not going to be any doubt in this team's mind that they can come back in a match.
I don't think that they have any doubt. I think it's just really about execution. I mean, they understand that each point is essentially isolated. Nothing kind of carries over one from the other, and it's really just about small building and details that can isolate you that point, which isolates you momentum, and kind of drive from there. So I think they really understand that, and they really utilize it in a way. They have that ability to clear off the last point as quick as possible. We talk about compound errors all the time, and when we can minimize those, that's when you kind of see us chipping away at leads. It would be nice to not get into those points, but with that said, knowing we have that as a skill could provide them that confidence that when we do kind of take that lead, we're able to kind of drive with it.
You go to MIT, a short drive, and you're playing in a region where you've only seen one of the teams, and that's Johnson & Wales on the opposite side of the bracket. How does that maybe help where both teams are going to be a little bit new to each other? You haven't faced Haverford since 2014 on opening day. What's kind of the process in terms of getting ready for those teams? But also, is the focus just as much on you as it is that individual opponent?
It's really about both. I think today is Monday, and we're just going to get some rest, make sure we catch up on everything we need, make sure we get our bodies right, our academics correct, and kind of take it from there. As a coaching staff, we're going to look at film, and we're going to try to compare. We're not looking too far ahead. So right now, it's just us and Haverford. That's all that really matters. And for us as a coaching staff, we're going to just take a look at their film, chip away, see what we can kind of find and look at, and take it a day at a time.
Coach, thanks so much for your time, and we'll have more on the matchup later on this week.